This broadcast is appropriate for all ages right here on hashtag WeAreMovieClub. It's time for Scary Movie Squad. I am Cameron. Greetings and salutations. I am conversation ready. And we're here today to talk about Alien just a little bit and our experiences with trying to watch it. Now, granted, we did it through Rabbitcast last night. I managed to start on time, even though I didn't have a lot of time before that. And I didn't do this on time last night because I was so beat by that point that it was just not going to be any good. Because I had to fight with Rabbitcast a little bit, but I figured out that if I whitelisted ad blocker, or I whitelisted for my ad blocker, so I think that solved a lot of the connectivity problems to Rabbit itself. This was my first time trying to host one of my own movies, so that was an interesting experience because I finally figured out how to do it. And sorry, I'm looking at where I'm active through Restream, and it seems to be here or there. I had Restream chat up the whole time last podcast. Oh well. Oh well. What is one to do? There's just so much overhead to doing things sometimes. But occasionally we get away from it and we get to go and watch a movie. Like Alien. Alien is a classic from the 80s. It's where a lot of the monster movies today actually derive from, if you look at it properly. Why are you stupid, Restream? Jesus. It's where a lot of movies derive from, and it's really hard to blame them from being derivative of it because it was originally so good. It was so impactful. Rewatching it, I'm going to go ahead and say the visuals don't hold. The atmosphere of the movie doesn't hold. Now, granted, I'm watching it in a chat room and I'm taking notes, and I'm trying to unfreeze it whenever that happens, but really got to figure this out. How do I say it? It just doesn't hold. Like there's so much empty space in the beginning of the movie. It's literally people just sitting in a room, sitting in a chair. Now, granted, there's stuff going on around them, like there's weird lights on the wall. They're flipping switches and stuff, which indicate that like the ship is doing something. There's other people in the room kind of standing around. There's stars out there, so you get to see the spectacle of space, and that's supposed to be impressive. But I think it's something to do with like the graphical capabilities that they had back then. Because I want to say this is still back when like they shot on film all the time because they didn't have another option. And there's a lot of points, especially with the Alien, that like I just have problems. Like it's very clear that it's a person in a suit on occasion. Like there's a couple points where it's like the arms aren't the same arms that like they did because they wanted him to be able to grab something. So they did like this weird vinyl shell thing on a guy in a what nowadays you would call a green screen suit, but it was black. So it was really upsetting to see like this classic movie really not hold up to the expectations. Now, granted, because it's such a classic and everything, like I am tempted to hold it to a higher standard, and maybe I put it up on a pedestal just a little too much. But like with Prometheus, that's my phone. Prometheus coming out, and when Prometheus came out, I started thinking about these movies again, and I've watched this in the past couple years, and I was okay then. I'm really curious why I'm not okay now. Maybe I took myself out of the movie a little too much. Um, but like it was just really clear in several spots. It's just like, what are they doing? There's a famous scene that was cut from this where it's like it's the guy in a version of the suit, because there are multiple versions of the suit, and he's like crab walking, and like he crab walks at somebody, and like obviously they took that out because it did not fit, it did not work, whatever you want to call it. But it's interesting to see similar scenes like that they kept. And the idea was that the atmosphere and what the tension of what's happening in the scene is going to draw your eye away from those things. If you're looking at it more academically, maybe you ruin it for yourself. Because back then, they were like, this is going to be on a big screen. Oh yeah, maybe it'll go VHS one day. No one's going to stop and like frame by frame the shit. Just do it and get it out there. And like that's something like I've heard Kevin Smith say, who is a filmmaker, whether or not you want to believe to be true or not. So how do I say this? It's just interesting that like 30 years later, like we can still laud the movie for being so classic and everything. But at the same time, I feel like I have the right to shit on it because it does not hold to present day standards. To put it that way. That's quiet phone. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying. Okay. Well, that's not gonna happen. Just trying to confirm like where I'm actually live at and where I'm not, because this is kind of irritating. Like when you bother to do something and then it doesn't seem to work how it's worked in the past, regardless of. Yeah, okay, so stream these up, even though Restream doesn't think it is. Granted, it says unknown. I have a little bit of a problem with YouTube not working. Like that's the big contender here, and that's the whole reason why I went to Restream looking to see if it's possible to pay for an account that lets you swap between 4 channels, but I don't know. So I set up 4 accounts because I can. But I'm wondering if like they investigated me and instead of responding, just went and blocked me. Anyways, was stupid. Shouldn't have made that. I'm trying to think more specific things. There's some really interesting stuff like who let the cat on the spaceship. Apparently, it was like one of the engineer's cats. I'm sorry, the cat of an engineer. The guy who goes to chase it, and then as he's trying to pick it up, it hisses, and then the alien gets him. That guy. And for whatever reason, Ridley makes it a priority, which I was really happy with because I was glad the cat got off the board. But it really is a mystery cat. Like, well, how'd it get there? How'd they sneak it on board? How'd they cryostasis it? Does he get his own sleep pod? Is there a cat-sized one? I don't know. I don't have these answers. And then they put him in this box, and supposedly the box is a carrying case. I don't know if it's atmospheric safe or not. I would imagine no. I imagine that it does not have a life support in that box. It'd be very surprising to find out that it did. But the cat, it's interesting the role it plays, and that the fact that the alien never got it. Because you would think that it would grab the cat up just like the humans, and even though there aren't face huggers, like it would string it up. That was the other thing that was weird. Like when Ridley found the people on the wall, like they obviously like were in pain or unconscious, whatever. And then even instinctually, I was like, well, you got to kill him, right? It's got to be the mercy kill. You got to purify them with fire so that the whatever little infectious bastards are inside them don't come out and you have more problems on your hand. But there weren't any more eggs. There were no eggs on the ship, so there were no more facehuggers on the ship. And the one facehugger that laid the original alien died. So it's really very similar to an ant separated from the queen. The ant will attempt to do the things that it thinks it's supposed to do for the queen, but if it can't ever get back to the queen, it eventually kind of gives up on life and dies. So that's kind of what the alien was doing. He's like, oh, I'll collect these people for incubation. I'll kill who I have to kill. But then, like, if he had ever killed... If we'd seen it from the alien's point of view, if he had managed to get everybody, I don't know what he would have done. Like, maybe that's what he did is what he would have done. Because he essentially went and took a nap in the one escape shuttle, which was serendipitous as shit, but, like, it's just so weird, because, like, he's curled up in there, like, to the point where, like, she's got to blast him with air to get him out of there into the open, so that when she drops the hangar door, the atmosphere venting actually sucks him out. And that's why I say it's partly a magical cat, because the whole reason she found the alien, I don't know why the alien didn't, like, pounce right away, but, like, she was playing with the cat or petting it and, like, everything, and she looked up and there was an alien right there. And so she drops the cat. I never saw the cat go back into the box. It's possible. It's possible. But when the atmosphere vents and she's, like, shooting him with the NO2 or whatever, like, I don't know where the cat went. Maybe the cat hid in a cabinet or something. Maybe. My cats are not that smart. Like, they would see the alien thing and run to the other side and try to watch it. Because I don't know why that's their instinct. Like, they don't just hide. They try to hide and watch. And you can't do both. So it doesn't work. So I don't know what happened to the cat. But, like, it's a magic cat. And even at the end, like, when she puts herself in cryosleep, which is very nerve-wracking to do that without an AI on board and without any other crew members, because if her pod fails, and that's it. The cat's not going to wake up when they're both supposed to wake up and then go, oh, I got to wake up the human. It's not that kind of cat. But the idea, just the idea of it's frightening. And of course it comes out badly because she shows up in Aliens, which is the sequel. There's no Alien 2, it's just Aliens. She shows up on a sequel and fuck, what is it? Nope, that's Resurrection. I think Aliens 3 is the prison. I think they're going. She gets collected by another company ship going to finish her mission to obtain some of these Xenos, and it just, of course, it goes badly because they had a hard enough time with just one of those fucking things, which they never really killed it. The only thing that killed it was venting it into space. So it really was like an immortal thing coming for him. Of course, if Bishop hadn't been such an asshole, Ash, as the android, like, trying to secretly, like, preserve the Xenos, then, like, it would have been fine. And honestly, that was my solution from the start. It's like, why didn't anyone consider venting the atmosphere in the ship? Like, that, seal off all these bulkheads and shit. Fuck that. Don't seal anything. If anything, seal the one room where all your people are, and the cat, and start venting the atmosphere. Either do it nice and slow and secretive so that whatever's outside your little life support area suffocates, or slowly gets pulled out into space, or do it nice and fast so there's like that nice jerk reaction for the vacuum. Now, I think that comes down to whether or not you're trying to save the cat, but I don't know. If I'm being honest, like, because that would have been my go-to. Been like, where's your cat? I'm sorry, we got to do this, because I definitely wouldn't have fucking let that facehugger on the ship in the first place. It's been like, you can leave him in the airlock bay, fine. Like, that's as far into the ship as he comes. Everyone else can come in. We'll get you checked out, and we'll see what we can do for him there. Because no. You find something that we can't account for, and you bring it on board. I'd feel the same way, honestly. And it'd probably be different procedures if we found alien tech. Like, we don't know what that does. We don't know what's in it. We don't know what their programs are like. We don't know if they can interface with ours. If you can determine those things, great. Most likely the answer is no, it can't interface with our stuff because it's alien tech. It doesn't know our languages and our rhythms and all that for coding processes and everything. But if you happen... I want this movie now. If you ran across, like... Let's call it an egg. I don't know. Maybe it's like an alien thumbstick. But you run across this egg that you're just like, oh, this is really pretty. And it turns out to be a housing unit for some Xenos AI. Like, and then you bring it on board, and it happens to interface with the radio and Bluetooth or whatever on board, and then finds its way into your computer, and then starts talking to you. How friggin' crazy would that be? That would be a great thing. Honestly, this movie with an evil alien AI instead of an alien would be fantastic. I think you could do a lot more with it too, because once it starts taking control of different systems, like, that would be the thing. You'd have limited people that could actually like be like, well, we can isolate this system or that system and like gain control of this. But then, like, do we have onboard droids that it controls? Were there androids on board that it could infect? Oh man, there's so much you could do with that. It's such a great idea. I wish somebody would make that movie. Somebody tweet me at Camera25 on the Twitters and let me know you're making that movie. I will help out in whatever way I can. But man, that's what I want. So all right, barely did 20 minutes. This is gonna be a short one today. I just got things to do, especially since it's late. Anyways, but keep an eye out for the bad summary. That's gonna be coming out. I'm gonna upload those after I fix this podcast, and I gotta figure out I gotta troubleshoot some stuff, and we'll see what's up. But until you see me next time, I am Camerai, and this has been #Movie Squad. Or #Movie Club with Scary Movie Squad. If you see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations and they'll take you to our other channels. Thanks for watching.